said the desert, you talking about like
the war. When I say
war.
the desert, went to the Gulf like 7 times. Because with that unit that I was in, I was there for 4 years, and we deployed.
Talking about the unit in Pendleton?
The
or?
unit in Pendleton. We deployed. I deployed 3 times. 3 times.
So you was at Iraq once?
I went to Iraq. No, every time was Iraq.
So
every
you
time.
went to Iraq 3 times?
3 times. Because one time we went out when we deployed when they first got there. Then we did a 4-month turnaround. Went right back out again. Yes, for 6 more months.
So you went out there for 6, came back
for 4 months, and
came back to Pendleton for 4 months,
and turned around right back. And then like a year and a half later, we went back for a 3rd time. By that time, I was at 4 years, but I actually enjoyed it because those deployments were more modernized by then. We were living. We were living in some tents. People still living in tents, but they had electricity. We had the field showers. They had the chow halls and stuff like that. It wasn't that bad. And they had the call center where you could use the phone to call home.
So have you had that deployment where you had that big water bubble? And
yes.
It had certain times?
Yes.
You had to get in the shower by a certain time. If not, you didn't shower?
Yes. I experienced that. I
remember that. But that 4 years in Pendleton, you get married?
Yes.
You got married in Pendleton?
Yes. I got married in Pendleton.
Second wife?
The second wife, yes.
Okay. And who's second wife?
That was when I had I met my son VJ mother. I met her. Well, I met her in San Diego at a nightclub.
What club?
I forgot the name of it, but it was in the Gaslamp district. Gaslamp district. I forgot the name of it.
But that's where y'all
Actually,
met.
I didn't meet her in the club. I met her in the parking lot leaving the club, because we was all parked in the same parking lot. But I saw her in the club. And I didn't even say anything to her in the club. I just think I said something to her because we was parked in the same parking lot and everybody was hanging out in the parking lot.
So what was the approach like? How did you approach? Did you see her? Did you like?
I don't even know what I even said to her, because you know something. I gave her my. We talked because she was with a bunch of girls and I was with a friend of mine, a partner of mine. We exchanged number, and I gave her my number, and I didn't get her number. I don't think she called till like a month later. I didn't know who it was. I don't think she called like a month later. That's how it happened. I had forgot about it. I had moved on. I said, well, she wasn't interested. Because at that time, when I came to Pendleton, I got apartment and stuff. I was living out in an apartment.
What rank were you?
I was a staff sergeant.
Staff sergeant. You got the
and I got an apartment and everything. So so I had my own apartment, my own car and everything. I wasn't even living on base and stuff. I was enjoying life. I was enjoying life.
How far were you from the base?
I was in Oceanside. I was living in Carlsbad.
Carlsbad.
You familiar with Carlsbad? I was living in Carlsbad. So it didn't take me. It took me like 10 minutes to get to the front gate. But
once you get on that front gate, it looked like it took you 3 hours to get to wherever you need to be.
Traffic, man. Let me tell you something. Pendleton is one of the bases where they changed it. Why they changed it? Why you had to be back to 12 noon because the traffic, man. When you come off of 96 or something like that, when they used to you got at Friday at 12, back on Tuesday at 12. You used to have to be back. When I first started, it used to be like you get off for regular time Friday, be back regular time on whatever Monday or Tuesday. 7:30. But they changed it because of the traffic, man. But it still was bad because everybody was coming back at 12 then.
Yeah. Everybody's trying to make that time.
Yeah, because, man, traffic is so bad at that front gate, man. I mean, so.
So what year did you get to Pendleton again? What year was it?
2002.
2002. So, but when did you get married?
2004.
2002. So about 2 years into it, you get married. So when you get married, did y'all move on base at Pendleton or the apartment that you stayed in?
Oh no, actually.
Or did you keep her?
No.
Actually, did you keep her away from the apartment?
You know something? It's funny you say that. No, because
Because the last wife you didn't have come to the apartment.
Yeah, you're right.
So I had to ask the question.
No, actually, you know something? She was living in San Diego. I was living but what ended up happening was that when we started dating, I ended up deploying again. So I moved out my apartment.
Oh, okay.
But when I came back, she instead of me getting another place, I moved in with her. She had her apartment.
Okay.
I moved with her in San Diego. So I was commuting back from San Diego to Pendleton every day.
What's that?
Man.
That's about an hour?
Yeah,
45 minutes,
yeah,
an hour?
Yeah, man, yeah.
But probably longer with traffic.
Yes, man, a lot longer. Hour and a half every day. I did, so I did that. And so what ended up happening was that we ended up getting married, and then we ended up moving her apartment, and we rented this house. We didn't buy no house. We just rented a house. We rented this house. It was still in San Diego though, and we stayed there for like another 2 years because I went on another deployment, and she stayed there in the deployment. And then when we got back, it was almost time for me to PCS, and that was about 2006. That's when I went from Pendleton to Miramar.
To Miramar, California.
To Miramar,
2006.
California. And then when I got ordered to Miramar, California, that is when I put in for that's the only time I ever lived in military housing in Murray Ridge. I put in for military housing.
And that's when you got to Miramar. That was
2006 until I retired. And I remember I retired December 2009. I went on terminal leave.
So what was your official retirement date? 2010?
April 1st, 2010.
April 1st, 2010. So you was on terminal
for 4 months.
So you was on vacation for 4 months.
I got my orders, like I never forget, December 18th, 2009. My terminal ended April. My retirement date was April 1st, 2010.
And so what did you do during that time?
I left California because what ended up happening was that when I had to be out of military housing by January 1st because you had to clean that place up and all that kind of stuff. I don't even know if we could have stayed there during terminal. I don't know how that worked. You could stay there in terminal. I was ready to go. I was just ready to go, and so I didn't want to prolong it. It wasn't no reason for me to just sit around there every day. And so I think we left like 2 days after I started terminal I think we a couple of days. I think we stayed in a hotel like one night after we finally moved out of our military housing. We left and got on the road. I'll never forget that we got stuck in Texas on the freeway. It was a winter storm, man, and the road got closed up. And I woke up Christmas morning on the interstate.
Well, I do want to make this point. So it's funny, so now you're in Miramar. The craziest thing, this is where we met.
Yes.
This is where me and you met, because I got stationed in Miramar. I think it was, I forgot what year that was, 2006.
Was it 2006 as well?
No, I want to say I got there sometime that summer. Not that summer, but January. And I remember we went on that deployment in June. So I think that was 2008.
Yes.
2008.
Yeah, it was 2008.
Yeah, so the first time I met you was 2008. And that's where we kind of connected, and you kind of like, put my wife, I was dating her at the time, with your wife, and same thing with Brown.
Yeah.
And the rest of us and stuff like that. And we just all linked up, and that's where we all hit it off at, And that's the man on the grill.
Yep.
Man on the grill. Now that's when I know Maisha at the time. She was from San Diego.
She's from San Diego, yes.
Is she born there too? Born and raised?
Born and raised in San Diego.
Born and raised. So you go, and then you retire and go on terminal 2009?
December 2009, I went on terminal leave.
Did you go straight back to Atlanta?
I drove straight from San Diego, California to Atlanta, Georgia. I came here, and we We didn't have nowhere to live at the time. We talked to my sister in Joan, but she lived by herself. She got a 4-bedroom house by herself. We came here and and we stayed with her for 30 days until we found this house over here, about 10 minutes from here, as a matter of fact. Mm-hmm. We rented this house. I rented this house, and then when we rented the house, it was the lady, the owners, they're actually from California. They come out here and buy properties and stuff, and they gave us the option to buy the house. So what we ended up doing, after we were there for 2 years, we ended up buying the house, and then it kind of worked out good for us because the owner said, if y'all ever decide to sell it or whatever, let me know, and I'll see if I'm interested in buying it back from you, and which he did.
You bought the house back.
Yeah, but we didn't really make no money out of it. We made like $10,000. That was it.
That was something.
Yeah, and so retired 2010, and then we stayed
in that house about 4 years, wasn't it?
About 3 years. 3 years. 3 years from 2010 2013.
Yeah, but that was in Atlanta though. Is this considered Atlanta?
This is considered it's considered Fairburn area. Fairburn, yes. Fairburn, because
it's not Atlanta.
No, it's not Atlanta. It's one of the cities that make up Atlanta. I guess you can say it like that.
Yeah, but was that Atlanta?
It was Fairburn.
Fairburn.
Like now, if you look up my address now, some of them say Atlanta, and I have received mail sometimes. It'll say College Park. Same address, but it just say College Park instead of Atlanta.
Yeah, that's one of the things I noticed about this area. It's kind of confusing because I know Fulton County is the county, and inside Fulton County is like 15 different cities.
Yes.
Atlanta is one of those cities inside of Fulton County.
Yes, and and all these cities make up Atlanta. And it's crazy. You confusing when somebody say from Atlanta, if their address might not say Atlanta, but they say they from Atlanta.
Because it's just that focal point where everybody know and talk about it, just Atlanta, and they think Atlanta is just this. What it say? Everything around that 285.
Yes.
It's not Atlanta, but everybody says Atlanta.
Yes.
It's Atlanta. But okay, so moving there, coming to this house. When did you move in this house?
I moved in this house in December 2013. That's the day. It's funny. I moved in January 2014. I closed on this house December 31st, 2013.
2013.
December 31st. And the reason I did that was that because if I would have waited till the 1st of January, I would have had to pay the taxes have been different for a new year. And they said they made sure.
You're basically paying last year taxes.
Last year tax instead of paying the New Year taxes, what they were at the time. So I closed on New Year's Eve on December 31st, 2013. And then 2 weeks later, believe it or not, me and my neighbor called Red. He Red. Him and his wife and the kid live right across the street. Guy young. He was a young guy, but probably my age, a little younger. But he drunk beer every day. Went on fish and work. Man, me and him and my brother moved my whole house from over there to here. 3 people moved this whole house from there. Took like 2 days, moved the whole house, man. I didn't pay nobody. I ain't had no money to pay nobody. And I
did it yourself.
We did it ourselves.
Well, let me ask you. So when you retired, what was that transition like? Did you get a job? Did you get another job?
My whole goal was that my brother had told me. I said, "Hey, man, I'm getting ready to retire." And I said, he was already 100%. Before
100% disabled.
Due to the VA already, because he had 10 years, so he had been out about 10 years before I even retired. And so he had already been through the road. He said, I had been talking to him off and on. He's telling me, man, when you retire, man, because back when I retired, I think times have changed now. That they say now you can start your claim and stuff before you retire.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was an option when I retired, but I didn't do it like that.
So a lot of people had to wait till they retired, then file their VA claim.
And that was the case for me. I couldn't do it until I retired. So my intentions were, I had looked for jobs because I'm in logistics, because you living in Atlanta with this airport here, there's hundreds and thousands of logistics jobs.
Yeah, everybody's moving something right.
Yeah. In logistics in Atlanta because of the airport. And I had put in applications and stuff, but my whole goal was to come here and do my my claim, my VA claim and everything. And so, but me not knowing, my brother told me, he say, man, look, if you're trying to get your VA claim and everything, he say, right now, he said, I don't encourage you to try, go out and get a job and everything. You just work on that. And so it kind of worked out for a minute, because, like I say, I was on terminal leave for 4 months, so I was still getting full pay for 4 months straight. That worked out, and I started doing all that kind of stuff. But I did come into a financial bind for a minute after my terminal leave, because it still took me another year to get my rating at the VA. And so at that time, I was only getting my retirement check, and my retirement check was not enough to cover all my bills, my rent, my mortgage, whatever, the car payments, all that kind of
Family,
stuff.
kids,
Family kids, it wasn't enough, so I was struggling back then, but I stuck it out though. But so he said try to stick it out and don't work, man. He said it's all gonna pay off, and which it did, because with the VA, when you file a claim, whatever day you submit your claim, they back pay you tax free from that day. Mine took a year and a half. So I guess they say, I think it's more common now, but back then, which is back in 2011 when I finally got approved, they said it wasn't common to get 100% your first look. I got 100% the first look. So they had to calculate that 100% times how many months there were. I remember getting a back pay check for like $50-some thousand. Oh
wow.
And so then after that, I filed for SSDI. But see, they don't tell you about the SSDI. If you're 50%, considered 50% disabled in any area, you qualify for Social Security disability. And I was 100% total, so, but I can be 50% only, say 50% from sleep apnea or whatever it is, it can be, and still file for SSDI, but they don't tell you that. And then I filed for SSDI. I got denied. I went and got a Social Security lawyer. Social Security lawyer, did everything. I turned all the paperwork and everything like that. Had to go see a judge. We had a court date and everything. I went down to the courthouse, sat in front of a judge. I didn't shave. I didn't do nothing, to back it up and everything. I had to take, when you're doing a VA disability claim, you got to do what they call a C&P exam, a compensation and pension exam. I had to do that. And my brother was telling me, he said, look, don't go in there freshly groomed and all that type of stuff. I understand. He say, go in there, don't shave and all that kind of stuff. So I went, I didn't shave for 2 weeks. I didn't line myself up. I didn't cut my hair. I didn't do nothing. I put on a t-shirt I mowed the yard in, put the shoes I mowed the yard in. And then my brother drove me there. I went to my appointment, and less than a month later, I got a letter in the mail saying I got approved. You've been rated 100%. He said, I told you, and I got it.
Ain't been working since.
Ain't working since. But see, I think I went in there and I was too honest, and I told them too much, because they asked me certain things and it made me upset and stuff. And I think
being honest is being honest.
Yeah, and I told them too much. But see, I did want 100%, but I didn't want 100% unemployable.
You wanted to work.
When I want the option to work.
Yeah.
I don't have the option to work now because I'm unemployable. I can't. if I'm rated on, if there's 100% permanent total, there's 100% permanent total unemployable. I'm 100% permanent total unemployable. If I was to work, I'll lose my VA disabilities. Because when I requested my medical records, I read the doctor notes. He had it, he had it in notes that he think that the veteran could possibly be postal if he was to seek employment. Postal means shooting up the place.
Oh yeah, going crazy.
So they rated me as unemployable. So I haven't worked on a job since December 2013. So I've been retired for what now? What did I add up to be? For like going on almost 15 years.
Yeah.
I haven't worked. I've been retired ever since. And I got approved for my after I went to the court and everything with the Social Security lawyer. Back then I got approved in 2014. And I submitted for it in 2011. So it took like 2 years to get that. And when I finally got, they back paid me like $60-some thousand.
They back pay you for that?
Yeah, back pay you for that too. The day you submit it. And back then, I don't know if it's changed. You had to, the lawyer only got like, I think he got 3% or 6,000, which one ever was greater, and they get that before you send your money. And I got that 6,000, and then, but I moved in this house in January 2014. I got my Social Security got approved March 2014. So I was here 2 months and got approved for Social Security disability.
So everything kind of started falling in for 2014.
Yep, falling in place, and ever since then, man, that's what it's been. So I have 3 incomes. I have my retirement, I have VA disability, and I have Social Security disability. So I actually
well, see, I just like to say this and just necessarily talk about it. I don't think you kind of understand it, but I don't think you understand the magnitude of the story that you tell. Iraq, Afghanistan, Gulf War, and all that type of stuff. And you said you went into the doctor to be honest. No, you need to be honest.
Yes.
It's like there's a stigma that we talk about. Let's not be honest with the doctors.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Why people don't want to go in and just be honest and tell people how they feel? What is the stigma behind it?
Like you said, with me, when I say I was too honest, because I haven't even mentioned it now, but I'm gonna tell you now. When I went to the Gulf War, there was a situation where this little 10-year-old girl, they believe in their religion, they believe so much over there until they would sacrifice their kids. So what they would do, they would strap bombs to their kids and make them walk towards your convoy. When they get to a convoy, they have the trigger and they'll blow their kids up. If they kill one Marine or one soldier, they feel like it was worth it to them. So this one incident was that this little girl, it was hot, like 120 degrees. She had this full like trench style coat, but you can tell she had some up under it. So we know, so they know the gesture. We put to point the weapon at her. I forgot the word we used to use to tell them stop. I forgot what it is, not been so long. We were saying that they understand that word because it was in Arabic. I forgot what it's saying. And you point the weapon at them, they put to stop. The little girl wouldn't stop. We were me and several other people pointing. I was going sanding and stuff. When the girl got like within like 30 feet of us, we was instructed to fire and shoot. So myself and several of the people, we shot. When we shot her, the little girl was killed. She didn't explode or anything, but after they investigated, looking on the coat, she did have a bomb strapped to her and stuff. And that's where a lot of my PTSD comes in at, because I don't know if my bullet or whatever, but I did aim in and I did
pull that trigger.
Pull the trigger 3 or 4 times, and she was hit several times. 10 years old, and now that I don't have kids that age or got kids that age now. That bothers me, man, to the point where, and then because they asked me in my CNP exam what significant event that bothers me the most, and I told them that story, and it kind of upset me and stuff, and I had to walk out, I started crying and all that type of stuff, and so and then I think that's what made him get determination that I'll probably be postal if I seek employment, because he's saying that I wasn't mentally stable to maintain a regular job at the time until I received certain kind of counseling and everything. So I don't know if it's changed now, but when you're a permanent total, I don't think that you don't have to take they can change. They can never change it. Okay, never call you in for another exam or anything. And so, and that's how. And that's when I say that I always want to have the option, because my thing is this: whether you're 100% permanent total or 100% permanent total unemployment, the compensation is the same across the board. So my intentions were, I want to get the 100% permanent total with the option, because I had jobs, this was back in 2013 and 14, logistic jobs that was starting me off with $70,000 or $80,000 a year. If I was working in now, I know I've probably easily been in 6 figures and still bringing in the VA with the option, and that was my route, because I never did want to sit at home full time. I wanted to. I've become accustomed to it now, but I wanted to have the option to still work, because I was young. You know, I was still young. I retired at 42, 43, but I was young, man, and I wanted that option, and that was taken away from me. And that's why I said that I think that when I went in detail and it was telling the doctor so much, too much, and then he made that consideration that I was, because he recommended that I immediately start going to group counseling. Now I started seeing a psychiatrist and a psychologist, because a psychologist just can't prescribe medication, a psychiatrist can, and I started seeing both of them like twice a week. I saw the psychiatrist twice a week, and the psychiatrist and like this following week, it just kept rotating. And I did that for like 2 years, man. And it just, man, and that's why I said, when I said I told him the truth, but maybe I should have. I don't know if he just took it off my emotions, how much it upset me, or he just that the trauma behind it, or what the event, he thought that I couldn't handle being employed, or whatever the case may be.
Okay.